All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, this NBA season, we've seen the Los Angeles Lakers go from being championship contenders to being a playoff team to dwindling down to having hopes just to make the play-in tournament as there is little time left here in the regular season for the Lakers to get their act together if they want to keep playing after the 82 games are done. Now, following last night's 128 to 120, 110 loss to the Dallas Mavericks, the Lakers record is now 31 and 44. They would still be a play-in team just due to the fact that the San Antonio Spurs lost tonight to the Memphis Grizzlies, but the Lakers lead over the Spurs right now for that final spot in the play-in is very thin, as is just a half game that separates them. Now, injuries have sidelined both Anthony Davis and LeBron James recently, but even with that, this team was poorly constructed. You know, you have a lot of aging players on this team. And then on top of that, one of the biggest things, like I've talked about several times this year or the season rather, in regards to the Lakers, their lack of defensive intensity whatsoever. The Lakers are one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA this season, and that is even with a healthy LeBron and AD. Frank Vogel, the Lakers head coach, is on borrowed time. As soon as this season is done, he might as well pack his bags. The Lakers brass, they really have some tough decisions to make heading into the offseason. Is right now the future does not look that bright for this team. Now, the Lakers don't own their first round pick this season, as it'll either be property of the New Orleans Pelicans or Portland Trailblazers. If it falls between 11 to 30, it goes to Portland. And if it's in the top 10, it goes to New Orleans. Now, New Orleans can also get one of the picks, depending on how things work out, but like they can get one of the picks from the Lakers in the next two drafts. They have the right to swap next year's pick with the Lakers, and then they get the first rounder outright the year after that. So, you're looking at this that after the Lakers parted with, pardon me, after the Pelicans parted with Anthony Davis, they have a chance to come out of this smelling like a rose if they know what they're doing. But on the flip side, with the Lakers, after you acquired Anthony Davis, you have to find a way to get your hands on some draft capital going forward. And these are some hard questions that have to be asked and answered by this Lakers front office. I mean, LeBron has one more year left on his deal, and he's set to earn about $47 million. And if he's not going to stay with the Lakers for the years to come, should they look to try to shop him or let him go to another team? Anthony Davis, he's under contract with the Lakers through 2024 with a player option for 2025. But with AD's injury history, would a team realistically want him and want a guy that, for the most part, is earning, close to $40 million per season? So that's a question. That's a realistic question and has to be asked and answered. Because let's be realistic. Anthony Davis's 10-year NBA career, including this one, he has never appeared in more than 75 games in any season. Russell Westbrook, I highly doubt that he would opt out and not exercise his $47 million option for next season, because the way things are right now for Russell Westbrook, 33 years of age, I don't see any other team giving him a big time contract with big time money like that at this point in his career. So the Lakers, they currently have six players under contract for this team for next season. And since all signs point to Vogel being gone at season's end, the Lakers might as well start over with a new roster with an eye on the future. I mean, you look at the way that they're playing right now, there's a very good possibility that this team misses the play-in tournament. With that said, you know what? You might as well you have to realize, what, you're not going anywhere with this team now. And I think for Jeannie Buss as well as Rob Palenka, they have to sit back and think, heading into next season, do you want to give it one more try with LeBron and AD and try to find a way to put some pieces around them in order to give you a championship, another run at a championship? Or are you going to say, you know what, this simply is not working out? And for me, you look at the Lakers when they won the championship 2 years ago, they played more defense. Everybody, for the most part, on that team was hungry, especially Anthony Davis. And I'm not sure if we're ever going to see that Anthony Davis that we saw 2 years ago in the playoff bubble now going forward for the Los Angeles Lakers. And if LeBron is going to go out there and try to give it another run to get another championship while wearing the purple and gold, he definitely needs somebody else alongside him that's going to be able to carry the load. And right now, AD is not it. And then and speaking of LeBron, like the Cavs and Heat before them, the Lakers have exhausted all of their resources to put a contender around LeBron, and now the cupboard is barren as far as lacking the picks and lacking the young talent as well. So the thing is, if you're the Lakers and you go all in next season to try to give it another push with LeBron and AD for that championship, all you're doing is delaying the inevitable. It's going to happen either way. They're going to have to start over from scratch. It's a matter of whether it's going to happen this summer or it's going to happen 1 or 2 summers down the road. But make no mistake about it, we are seeing a team self-destruct right before our eyes this season. And of course, most of us are seeing it because the Lakers are consistently on national television. At this point, some people are going to say LeBron should come back. He's left the team on this road trip, to get more treatment for his ankle. And I mean, at this point, other than chasing and getting closer to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to be the NBA's all-time leading scorer, I don't think there's anything else at this point for LeBron to play for this season. Because, for the sake of argument, like I've said before, if the Lakers were even to make the play-in tournament, it's not a guarantee that they're going to get out of there. And even if the Lakers made the playoffs, how much damage could they do? You can't just flip the switch on and expect to be a great team. And they have shown that all season long that they are not a good basketball team. So the writing is on the wall. I think it's a situation where we have to be realistic about this as far as what this team is and what this organization is going to be going forward. This season has been unforgettable if you're a Laker fan, or it has to be unforgettable if you're a Laker fan. The same thing for some of the participants who are wearing that uniform, and definitely for the head coach as well. But the bottom line is, right now, it's not looking good for this team. They lucked out that the Grizzlies were able to hold on to the Spurs against the Spurs tonight, but the Lakers shot, at least in making the play-in tournament, is up in the air right now. And a week from now, let's see how things look for this team. But I'll tell you like this: with no day AD and no LeBron coming down the stretch, things are looking very bleak. And if you're the Lakers, this season cannot end quick enough for you. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 pounds of sports knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you in, and if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 pounds of sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.